Aloha, everybody. It's 6:30, or almost 6:30 in the morning here in Leilani State, and this is a lava update. We're going to talk about the changes to Fissure 8 and some inflation of lava. We'll talk about that in this video. Aloha, everybody. Aloha. Aloha, Jennifer. Yeah, it is kind of spooky here. Good afternoon. Well, it's the morning here. It's almost 6:30. It's 6:25 here in the morning. How you guys doing? Beautiful morning. Aloha, Ben. Aloha from Oklahoma. Awesome. Good morning. Aloha. Good morning, Robert from Vegas. Good morning, Greg. Dennis. Aloha. Dennis is in Kona. Ben's from the Netherlands. Awesome. Aloha, everyone. So it's not raining this morning, which is good. It's a beautiful morning. It rained all day yesterday, pretty much, at least where I'm at. There's no new eruption. I want to talk about the update. I watched Philip Ong and John. Or both of them have different opinions on what's going on, and it's good to listen to both of them and then decide for yourself after looking at the evidence. So there is some inflation. That means that there is lava moving or filling up some chambers that are under the rift zone. But it's not that big of a signal to be concerned. And right now the SO2 is really low. I don't smell any SO2. This is all steam from the morning dew because these cracks are still hot. And you know, the rain and morning dew will make steam. So I'm on my buddy's property. I'll give a shout out to Rod. Aloha, Ray from Pennsylvania. Aloha, Gary from Arizona. Peter, Colorado. Awesome. Yes, thank you, Jennifer. I am now over 60,000 subscribers. It's all because of you guys. Thank you so much. I have the best viewers. It's so awesome. This is an interesting event, to say the least. And I'm glad you guys came along for the ride. It's been an interesting ride, to say the least. Well, thank you, Ben. Yeah, everyone. It's all because of you guys, and it's awesome to have a nice community, a YouTube community. You guys are the best. Janet, what is the buddies? Oh, we have, let's see, some doves. You can probably hear the dove. That's like the, right there, that sound. That's like a dove love song. And then there's a couple other lovebirds around here. And then you hear the crickets. The coquis have gone to bed, so you won't really hear coquis right now. Brian, thank you. Yep, 60,000 subscribers. It's awesome. Thank you so much. How's the picture and sound quality, guys? Central Star Channel. Okay, cool. Let's see where. Okay, so the picture and sound is good. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of spooky, huh, with the steam. Well, thank you. I try to tell a good story. I try to be adventurous. Sometimes it's hard. Lisa, I totally went to go back to school and become a geologist. Yes, geology has become interesting, huh? Especially in Hawaii. Yes, Verizon. Yeah, Verizon still going strong, and AT&T is not good. Yeah, Hawaii makes geology exciting. I mean, I've always kind of liked rocks. Um, Maybe I like plants more, but plants and rocks they go together. Before the eruption, I think I had around 30,000 subscribers. So in the past 4 months, I've gained around 30,000 subscribers. Yeah, plant rock. Yeah. But plants and rocks, they go together. Plants and dirt. Ken, aloha from where? Oh yeah, big cup of Puna coffee. Yeah, that's steam. Yeah, I looked back. I was getting about 6 to 8,000 subscribers a month, uh, roughly. For the past 4 months, that's what I was getting. So it was good. I think in June I was at like 47,000 subscribers, or a little bit under. So it's all because of you guys. You know, Yeah, so again, that's not smoke, that's not SO2, that's steam. It's just steam. Bill, I don't know if that was Bill. I think his name was actually John. You can look it up. Just Google, shooting in Leilani during lava eruption. I imagine you can Google that, and I don't think it was Bill. He looked like Bill, because I had done some videos with Bill um, in them, and I think Scott had done a couple videos with Bill. I'm not quite sure, but Bill seemed pretty sane. He did lose his house. I'm almost positive that wasn't Bill, but he looked very similar. The merchandise thing. Um, I've said this before, but the genre that I started in, the outdoor survival genre, they're not so keen on merchandise. So I come from that that I don't know. I guess I'll probably do some merchandise here soon. But I want to have maybe some local artists create some designs, and then have them on T-shirts. I'm kind of resisting it. I don't want to do the Patreon. I really didn't want to do GoFundMe. Um, but people were sending me money in the mail, so I think the GoFundMe was necessary. And I mean, if people want to send money, then let them. I'm not forcing anyone. um, I I just the Patreon thing. I don't know. I guess I'll get with the program. I mean, a lot of YouTubers don't monetize until 50,000 subscribers. For instance, Casey Neistat he didn't monetize for his first 100 million views. So, you know, um, not that I'm saying anywhere near Casey Neistat, but I'm just saying. Good morning, Ken Coleman. Aloha. Yeah, so it's just that whole thing. Eventually, I will become a full-fledged YouTuber and have the merchandise, or I should call it, I'll have the merch, I'll have the Patreon, I'll have all these things. I'll become a full-fledged YouTuber here soon. Oh, and please give this video a thumbs up. That'd be awesome. I love all your comments. Comment, guys. It's awesome. Clear as hair since 2017. I don't know about that. That is steam. That's not fog or SO2. Just steam. Aloha, Gary from Phoenix area. Tina, aloha. Yeah, Tina, that's not. Yeah, I answered. Yeah, that's not smoke. That's steam. It's not SO2. Good morning, Maria. Good morning. Where are we? Garden Earth. Yeah, these are kind of rotten ohias. They have the rapid ohia death. So what happens with the rapid ohia death is it's a fungus that prevents the plant or the tree from moving water from the roots to the top. And it's basically like a dry rot. So if you open up some of these trees right here, a lot of them will have dry rot. And so that's not good. Yes, please hit the like button. Thank you. Yeah, super chat. I might set that up. Yeah, ohia is really a tough ironwood. It's just that these particular ones have the rapid ohia death. So they're kind of funked out. I mean, I wouldn't say, you could cut this straight one down right kind of in the middle of the screen, and a lot of it will be good. And that would be a beautiful pole to build with. It's like a redwood, this ohia. It's got like a red type wood, but it's an ironwood. It's very tough. Dinner tonight. I'm not quite sure. Aloha. Awesome, guys. So how are you guys doing this morning? It's early here. It's like 6:30, 6:40. Awesome, guys. This is a beautiful morning. I had my coffee this morning. Feeling good. Houston. It's almost lunchtime in Houston. Well, thank you. Yes, I try to do my best with the videos. I'm going to get a drone here soon because, dragging Jeremiah around all the time can get annoying for him and me, Who's invisible? Jolene? You're not invisible. You're right here, Jolene. Aloha. Oh, and I want to thank Melissa from Canada. She sent me some maple syrup. I want to thank Margaret. She's been sending me some cash, and that's awesome. Thank you, Margaret. And thank you, Sarah. Sarah sent a bunch of food and all sorts of items. Kentucky What's up, Ken? Yeah, Jennifer, Ohio. It's lunchtime in Ohio. Yeah, Jeremiah is awesome. I told the story about how he was my cameraman in the beginning of the channel because I didn't have a camera. So I was having Jeremiah film my videos, and then I would edit them. Aloha Friday. Yes, Ken. Definitely happy Aloha Friday. It's a beautiful day. And I just want to, give my thoughts and prayers to everyone affected by Florence. I know that's a pretty brutal natural disaster going on in North Carolina. Aloha, West Virginia. John, yeah, it was John, it wasn't Bill. Yeah, I knew. I mean, they look very similar, but Bill seemed like a nice guy. Bill was a good guy. I don't know the John guy. He was the guy that was shooting. I knew I remembered his name, John. Well, thank you for sharing. Awesome, thank you. Yeah, Hawaii is pretty awesome. Yeah, I used to do hardwood floors. So I've, built hardwood floors, I guess you could say. I used to be in construction. Kind of got out of it. I think I'm getting too old for it. So I'm not going to be in construction. Yeah, Carolinians. um, yeah, you guys be safe. North Carolina and South Carolina. I have some friends in South Carolina, and I mean that's just amazing. It's There's so much, you know. Oh wow, my heart goes out to the people that are affected by Hurricane Florence. Well, thank you, Robert. Yeah, the Black Sands beaches are awesome. Thank you, Robert. They're really hard to photograph. The Black Sands beach. It really absorbs the light. Yeah, Charlotte. Oh man. Yeah, it's tough. And see, with lava, you can be relatively safe. No one was killed here. But with hurricanes and flooding and winds and strong winds, that's deadly. Lava, you know, no one has died trying to escape from lava since 1924. Now, people have gone to go see lava and died, but that was their fault. No one has died in 100 years trying to escape lava in the United States. Now, in other countries, that's a different story. But at least in the United States, no one has died for since 1924 because we got helicopters now, so people can get evacuated. Now, I gotta repeat this: people have gone to go see lava and died, but no one has been trying to evacuate and died from lava. I think the biggest concern with lava is fires. Um, because it's hard to run from like a forest fire or something, or you know. But yeah, I mean hurricanes and high winds and flooding. That's deadly, and that'll always be deadly. Aloha from Kentucky. Brent. Aloha. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's like photographing a black cat. Exactly. It's really difficult. You know, the black sands beaches and the lava rock around here is just, it's so dark and black that it's hard to photograph. And that goes for the same with like a black cat as well. Definitely, for sure. Dog food. I don't have a dog. My dog died about a year ago, or I had to put her down. She was really old. So, um, she was like 14 years old. And I've been planning to get a new dog. What I was thinking is maybe doing a live stream at the pound, and you guys can pick or help me pick a puppy. What do you guys think about that? A live stream from the Humane Society, and you could help me pick a puppy. Yes, the SO2 has been rusting my roof and a lot of my knives. I have to I have to protect against rust. So I'll do a video on that. I'm going to a friend's house, helping them clean up tomorrow and clean off their roof, clean off their clean up their catchment. So I'll do a video tomorrow. I'm gonna help Gary clean up his house, and he's right next to Fissure 8. He's like literally a house away from Fissure 8, or at least the end of the lava flow in Fissure 8 is just pretty much right there next to his house. Well, thank you, Brass Rose, for watching all my videos. Yeah, so I think that's a good idea. If I could go live from the Humane Society and have you guys help me pick a puppy out. Because I want to take them all home. And I can only take one. So if you guys help me pick a puppy, then I might not go with your advice. But at least you guys can chime in and give me a hand picking a puppy. Awesome. Old dog. Lily. Cool. I'm thinking about a puppy. I have to train the dog because I have a homestead and I got chickens and cats and stuff. So I have to have a young puppy so I can train the puppy. Okay, so for those of us joining us, lava update. There's not a whole lot of new activity. There's been a little bit of glow. An opening has opened recently in the past couple days to expose some lava, and there's been some inflation of lava in the rift zone. So what that means is they think that certain chambers under the ground are starting to fill up, but it's too soon to tell. I think today and tomorrow we'll get a better idea of what's going on. But for right now, there's not a whole lot of change. The SO2 levels have dropped. I know the past 2 days people have been smelling the SO2, and I have as well, but I think that's because of the variable winds. The winds are just whipping it around and not blowing it in a straight direction. So, and the cracks have not changed. No, they're pretty much the same. Heat-wise, they haven't expanded or anything. Here, I'll get you a new spot. Hold on a second, everybody. I'm gonna get you to a new spot. And you can see some cracks. I'm gonna move the camera. I know I shouldn't do this because the picture gets all messed up. So that picture doesn't look so good. Just go right there. See how deep that crack is. Don't want to get too close to the edge. You know what? I'm just gonna do this. There we go. That's a better picture. Yeah, this is the biggest crack on my buddy's property. I think at the widest point, it was like 2, almost 3 feet. So, you know, at a certain time, it was really wide. It has shrunk a little bit, you know, and moved. We did have an earthquake that I felt in Leilani. Geez, that was 2 days ago. Not yesterday, but the day before. And that kind of was scary. Everybody was kind of freaking out about the earthquake. I'm gonna sit down. Let's see. I'm gonna put the brightness up on my phone so I can see the comments. Yeah, he's gonna try to fill these cracks, and he's going to try to repair the grass, because he had just planted a bunch of centipede grass, and it was beautiful. It was, you can see some of my older videos when I was here in the beginning of the eruption. It was a beautiful. He had a beautiful lawn, and unfortunately, the SO2 and acid rain killed it off pretty much. So he's gonna have to start over, but that's okay. I mean, it's, you know, at least no one got hurt. So there's not a whole lot of change with the lava. The SO2 levels have dropped dramatically, and the USGS is saying that it's almost undetectable, the SO2. So I think this is like the least amount of SO2 we've had in a long, long time. So that's good. And people are moving back into Leilani and starting to repair and clean up. And I will help my friend tomorrow. Yeah, building underground here is not the best. You know, it's like you don't build a underground bomb shelter here because you might get cooked alive by lava if you're underground. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a tree house I think would be better. Yeah, those are bricks on the left. Concrete bricks. Underground bakery, yes. People like to make underground ovens here. The Hawaiians used to cook underground a lot. They call it an imu, and it means underground oven. And typically it was just a hole in the ground, and you put a bunch of firewood in, you start a fire, you get the coals going, you put down some like banana leaves, and you wrap all your food in like tea leaves or banana leaves, and then you put the food in the hole and then cover it with leaves, banana leaves typically, and then cover it with dirt. I mean, of course, you put some hot rocks in there as well, and that would be used to cook pig and fish. It's a really awesome way to cook, but it takes a long time. Usually takes about 12 hours. So all the luau's that you see at the resorts, well, they didn't cook that pig that you're eating that day. It was cooked the day before. So luau's are good, are fun. Yeah, you don't want to cook with lava. That's one thing, you don't want to roast marshmallows over a lava flow because lava releases a lot of gases, toxic gases, and it makes the food taste weird. So every time I've tried to cook over lava, it just doesn't work. You take a bite of it and it tastes like sulfur. So cooking over lava just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't work. Now you can start a fire with lava and then cook over that fire. That works. You want me to turn a little west? Well, we're facing east right now. Uh, West would be like kind of right behind me. Do you want me to turn left or right? Yeah, no cooking with lava. It's bad. You don't want to cook with lava. Okay, what about Japan? I gotta read this. I saw a video. Okay, well, lava steam might be different, but cooking directly on lava, there's so much gases being released. And even I wouldn't want to cook with the steam uh, anyway, because there might be some SO2 in that steam. But there are, uh, places on the earth where it will be just straight steam. I could see that. And you could theoretically cook with it. I just, every time I've tried to cook with lava, it tastes like sulfur. Yeah, that's very interesting about Japan. That is really interesting. I don't know everything. I'm not even that good at cooking. I can get a fire going if it's not raining. Yes, I have walked on plenty of lava. It's very dangerous to walk on lava. You can fall through a skylight. There'll be a thin layer of lava, you know, covering a hole that could easily be 15, 20 feet. I've walked over active fissures before. It was really dumb. I've done some dumb things. I blame it all on my friends, my local friends from school when I was growing up here. They're all kind of crazy. Puna kids for sure, and Puna kids are typically crazy. I don't know Dallas. I've seen some of his pictures on Facebook, but I've never met him. I just met Scott. Um, and I know people are saying like collaborate and collaborate, but I'm worried about collaborating with other YouTubers because I've said this on my last live stream. I'm kind of on a blacklist. My channel is being suppressed because of knife review videos, and YouTube is clamping down on stuff that really is kind of silly. So if I collaborate with Scott or Charles, I don't want them to be, put on the blacklist. I know it's silly. I don't even have any like I don't have, I mean, I use knives for outdoor camping and stuff. It's not even a self-defense thing, but YouTube is all about, anti-weapons. So the best knife, I'm gonna have to show you the best knife. I got it on me. I got it on my belt. My best knife. LT Wright Forest Trail. This is the best. It's the best knife. It's expensive, and I got it right before the eruption. But this is a awesome knife, beautiful knife. It's made in America out of CPM 3V steel, so that means it's super tough. And it's got a burlap Coke bottle handle, super comfortable. This is my survival knife, and it's been on my belt pretty much the whole eruption. It's thick. I could cut my way through a car door if I had to. It's razor sharp. It's a beautiful knife. Made in America. Is Scott in? Is Scott here? Oh, good morning. Yes, thank you, Scott. Much appreciated. I appreciate you covering this lava. Definitely. I was just explaining, everyone wants us to do a collab, and I'm just kind of hesitant because of I don't want to what do you call it? I'm blacklisted, so I don't want anybody else to collaborate. Oh, and I want to ask you, Scott, on Sunday, I'm doing a video about Chris Burmeister. He lost his house, and I wanted to ask you if you wanted to come and film maybe a behind the scenes video about me making a documentary on Chris. So I was going to call you. I was going to call you and ask you if you wanted to come and make a video and kind of promote him, maybe promote his GoFundMe for Chris and Heath. I've already done a video about or on Heath and how Heath lost his video. Yeah, okay, so you met Chris the other day. Awesome. Okay, so on Sunday in the morning, we're gonna do a video. So if you could do maybe like a behind the scenes video, and we could promote his GoFundMe. I mean, he lost his house. I think people that have lost their house should have a GoFundMe. Definitely. And I helped Heath raise some money, and I want to help Chris raise some money. I mean, the video that I did on Heath got like 14,000 views, so I'm very proud of that video. It's a sad video. Okay, so you have a tour on Sunday? Okay, well, maybe we can reschedule. I will get a hold of you, and it's not a huge rush. I'll text you later today and kind of organize it a little bit better. Okay, Scott? Because I want you to be there, and the more exposure, I think, the better. Because Chris, he lost his house. I mean, it's completely covered in lava. Okay, cool. So I will text you, Scott, later today, and we'll coordinate. Maybe Monday or Tuesday we can do a video. He's pretty flexible, and I'm flexible too. And there's no rush to get it done. It's a little late, I know, but I think it's better than not doing it. And I want to give back to the community as much as possible. Before this eruption, I was getting to the point where I could help my community, through my YouTube channel. So I definitely how's the signal and reception and sound, guys? Is it good? Here, I'm gonna switch you spots, get you a better view. maybe classic view for this spot. Okay, cool. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, the Verizon is got a strong signal here, but at my house it's a little bit weaker. Exactly, Susan. Never too late to help a friend. Exactly. And I've known Chris for at least 2 months, but I didn't realize that he lost his house. He just doesn't even talk about it. He's just like helping people. So that really impressed me about Chris. You know, he's not complaining about losing everything. He's just helping people, and he has helped so many people over the past 4 months. You know, along with Heath Dalton, Chris Burmeister, these two guys have helped countless residents move their household belongings out of the lava zone. And Heath Dalton was one of the first people to lose their homes. He was within the first 20 houses destroyed. And his house got burnt down. It didn't get covered in lava. Chris Burmeister, I believe his house got covered in lava. So I'll probably do some filming with Chris tomorrow, and then reschedule a time to where me and Scott can do a video together, or Scott can do a video, like a behind the scenes video on me making a documentary about Chris. So I think that'll be awesome. I'm going to read some comments. Chris Burmeister, he lost his house months ago, I think like a few months ago. So I wanted to do a video promoting his GoFundMe, because he helped a lot. Chris Burmeister helped a lot. No, that's a truck shell, a camper shell. Okay, aloha, Scott. Yeah, I'll text you later, and we will set up something, you know, sometime in the next couple days. Yeah, Chris Burmeister already has a GoFundMe set up. I believe if you look up, it's Chris with a K, Kris, Burmeister. So if you want to go check out his GoFundMe, and I will do a dedicated video on Chris and his experience. He's a vet, and he's a father. So, you know, and he's a lava evacuee, a lava refugee. He lost his house. So that's awesome. Scott showed up so I could talk to him about making this video on Chris Burmeister. That's awesome. I didn't light a fire. What fire? Oh, no, that's steam. Yeah, that's from Fissure 10. There's no SO2, or barely any. I don't smell any SO2. And this is a lava fissure. It's not erupting right now. The lava has paused, and the USGS is not restarting the clock, even though there are reports of lava visible from inside Fissure 8. You know, looking above, you can see down into Fissure 8. There are a small pool of lava, the lava lake, just recently, and some of the area inside the fissure has collapsed to expose molten lava, but USGS considers it still a pause. They didn't restart the clock. It's not erupting. And there has been some inflation, just for those of us, or for those of you joining us, there's been some inflation in the rift zone, but not enough to be concerned. So we just have to wait next couple days to see if there's any more inflation, and if there starts to be earthquakes, then we can say that the eruption might start up again. So we were looking for several factors: earthquakes and inflation in the rift zone. What that means is there's lava moving into chambers underground, and SO2 gases. That's another sign. I mean, if all of a sudden there were some earthquakes and a lot of SO2 was in the air and everyone can smell it, then the meters are going off, and along with the earthquakes, those are signs that would say that there's an eruption coming, or another one, or continuing. But for right now, it's just a pause, and we have the lowest level of SO2 gases, almost non-existent. So I'm going to read some comments. What do we got going on here? Yeah, those are doves. I'm just using a Moto cheap cell phone. Yeah, I just use a. Oh, hey, Sarah. That's Sarah. Aloha, Sarah. Yeah, I just use a cheap cell phone, Verizon. Cell phones don't last very long here. It's, I drop them. It's pretty rough. Lots of sand and grit and moisture. Aloha, Sarah. Yes, it steams more in the morning because of the morning dew. It's just, these cracks are hot. And when, it's morning. Yes, I have not sent out your package yet. I wanted to wait for the hurricane to go away, so I'm going to send your seashell necklace today or tomorrow. I just didn't want it to get lost with the hurricane. So you should be getting that package next week, Sarah. And then I got some other seashells I want to give you too. Yeah, Verizon's pretty good. I think it's the best signal on the island. Has the strongest signal on the island. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Sarah. Awesome. Sarah sent me some stuff. Awesome. Yeah, knife reviews. A lot of people don't even know that there's knife reviews on YouTube, right? People are always shocked, like people review knives on YouTube. Well, in the past 10 to 20 years, the knife industry has changed big. I'm gonna go on a little rant. So before, knives were just kind of cheap, made in China. No one really cared. They were just cheap, and so America went through this phase of just, oh, I could just throw it away and buy a new one. Why would I even sharpen it? I'll just use it. It's so cheap. It's disposable. Well, now knife companies have been producing really good quality knives, and so with sushi and these other, cooking channels and stuff like that, people are getting more and more into quality knives um, for the kitchen, and then of course um, that'll go out into like every other part of the world, or every other facet, like camping and stuff. Paintbrushes? No, I don't. Don't review paintbrushes on YouTube. Even though I do know some of the good ones. Aloha, Funkin, Funk. What was that? HEW Funkin KNEW Wit. Okay. Aloha. Interesting profile name. Good morning, Dana. Aloha. Yeah, straight talk seems to be pretty good on the island. I have a couple friends with straight talk. I just I just go for the unlimited $75 uh monthly plan. I don't like contracts. Well, knives can be considered a weapon, so YouTube doesn't like anything that can be considered a weapon. Um, and I know it also has to do with, the knife ban in the UK. So unfortunately, knives have become controversial. Yeah, but YouTube doesn't see it that way. I would love to just do knife review videos, just go by the beach, go fishing, catch a fish, start a fire, cook the fish, chop up some vegetables, grill it all right there, and that's your knife review. I'd love to do those kind of videos, but unfortunately, YouTube doesn't like it. And it's so from inside YouTube, they've changed the algorithm. The algorithm is constantly learning. So videos from years ago that were fine, people are getting hit with strikes and demonetization. Um, According to a lot of my YouTube union members, I'm part of the. Yeah, there's a knife ban in UK. Look it up. It's quite crazy. See, UK doesn't have any, or they have really strict guns. So most Brits don't have firearms. So there's been a string of stabbings. So they're trying to ban knives. So transporting knives is illegal. So it's hard for people to buy a knife at the store and drive home with it or walk home with it. That's considered illegal. Yeah, a lot of the coppers, the British police don't carry guns. Yeah, so a lot of the critics of that are 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 going to point to like prisons. Well, there's no knives in prisons, right? But there's still stabbings. You can sharpen a stick or a toothbrush into a knife. Yeah, a brick is a weapon, you know. It's silly. I wouldn't want to live in England. Yeah, I mean, honestly, a vehicle I think is about the mm, deadliest weapon all of us have, pretty much. And a vehicle, um, you wouldn't think of it as a weapon, right? So that can be scary. Yeah, it does seem like the world is a dumpster fire. Yeah, um, I think you know Philip Ong brought this up with the volcanoes. Everyone's freaking out, saying, "Oh, there's tons of eruptions. Everyone's, we're all gonna go through this, this crazy, eruption, lava eruptions." But he brought up the point that, well, no, we just know about them now. They were happening before. It's just not everyone has a cell phone camera. So I think the invention of the cell phone camera will um, make everything um, front page. It's just there's just more of it. Okay, so I'm gonna answer some questions. I am at Fissure 10. This is Fissure 10, the tail end of Fissure 10. No, it's not dangerous in my neighborhood. My neighborhood is fairly safe. Landscape. What was that? Yeah, I mean everyone was pretty safe during this lava eruption. There was one city worker that was hurt, and he was hurt by I think it was a backhoe. A backhoe rolled over and fell on him. And then there was a man that was hit by a piece of lava on his leg. He almost lost his leg. So that was about those are the two serious injuries, and then everything else is just minor. There is one missing persons, but who knows? I'm gonna move this because the sun got real bright there. So there was one missing persons. No one really got hurt besides those two individuals that I was just talking about. I'm really quite surprised. I mean, with how civil defense was acting, and there should have been hundreds of people injured, right? Oh yeah, I forgot about the lava boat incident. Yeah, that woman, her femur. So there's, um, let's see, there was three serious injuries. I totally forgot about the lava boat. Wow, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, I totally forgot about the lava boat. So there was, probably a dozen minor injuries there, one serious injury, and that was about it on the lava boat. It could have been a lot worse. Thank God it wasn't. But yeah, that was a little reckless. The lava boat captain, he's a little reckless. And when you have hot stuff meeting cold stuff, everybody knows there's going to be a problem. So you stay away from that. And I think that will teach everyone. So I'm really shocked that civil defense has kind of just lifted everything. I was saying for a while that they're not going to let us walk around on Fissure 8. And guess what? I mean, besides the 50-yard law, they're pretty much letting us walk everywhere on the lava. They're not like clamping down. I know people are walking over to Pohiki, and that you have to walk on lava to get to Pohiki. So yeah, I don't. I can't believe that civil defense is. It's really kind of nice. Kathleen from Virginia, aloha. Aloha, Kathleen. I haven't checked my GoFundMe page in a while. I usually let a couple of donations gather up, and then I thank everyone. Um, but thank you for that. I hope you're staying safe. Virginia could be affected by Florence for sure in the rain bands from the hurricane. Wow. You know, it has been raining for the past couple days, and the helicopters have not been flying. Right now, there's I'm surprised there's no tourist helicopters right now. I always said that, once the lava stops, there's still going to be tourist helicopters because everyone was like, "Whoa, once the lava stops, the tourist helicopters will go away," and I'm like, I don't think so. I think a lot of people will want to come and see the lava because it's safer, when it's not erupting. But of course, not nearly as much as when the eruption is happening. I just think that this will always be, uh, a sight to see, right? And it is kind of weird. I mean, think about it. After Florence, right, the destruction from Hurricane Florence, am I going to go over and take a tour helicopter and fly over hurricane damage? Uh, Probably not, right? And I know lava is I mean, this is like once in a lifetime, and hurricanes usually happen every year. But I just thought it was really odd that so many people wanted to come and see the destruction. I never took a tour helicopter. I probably won't, even though it's a great view and it's beautiful, and I have nothing against people that want to go see it. I'm just not a fan. Let's just put it that way, and I'll stop my rant at right there. I don't want to get in too much trouble. Yeah, Philip Ong, he lives near Pu'u'o'o, and he would say, or he says that before this eruption, helicopters would fly around his house constantly because he lives about 3 miles from Pu'u'o'o, and when Pu'u'o'o was active, helicopters were just flying constantly around that crater, and it was annoying. But I think this event trumps all of that. I think we got more tourist helicopter action in the past 4 months than years worth of flying over Pu'u'o'o. I mean, this this was a once in a lifetime event. I had so many friends, you know, wanting to come over and visit me and check out the lava, and I said no to a lot of it. A lot of my friends, because I didn't want to run tours for my friends over the lava, and it was just not a good scene at the time. So, and nothing against people that wanted to see um, the lava flow from a helicopter, and nothing against people that want to take a tour, you know. I don't think the lava boat tours are still happening. See, the lava boat tours, it takes about, I think, 2 hours to get out there from Hilo. And when there's no lava flowing into the ocean, it's not as exciting. Now, a helicopter flight, you can see the whole, the whole picture. You can get a really good perspective from the helicopter. Boat tours, I think, are only desirable when the lava is flowing into the ocean. Oh, cool. So you flew over the Mr. Hansen flew over St. Helens. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, you can see the coastline. I just don't think it's I don't think it's as neat as when the lava is flowing into the ocean and there's like a mile long lava flow going into the ocean. That is spectacular. So I think with the lava boats, it's really, the lava has to be going into the ocean. It's really important. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, I'm gonna read some questions here. let's see where we go. We got some questions. Yeah, when you're flying over something like that, you kind of easily forget that, you know, somebody's house was under Fissure 8, or a bunch of houses are under Fissure 8. You know, somebody's house, you know, and it's insane. Yeah, there's talk of bulldozing the Red Road to have access to Bohiki. I think that's going to be one of the first roads that is repaired. Um, the Highway 137, we call it the Red Road here because it used to be red, or there was red cinder on the Red Road, and then they eventually paved it. And a lot of people say that was because of money. Kapoho didn't like the cinder road, so people were investing money in Waiapai and the Kapoho community that now is covered in lava. They kind of forced the county to pave the Red Road, which was very unfortunate. But I can understand it because there's more and more people living here, and a cinder road with that much traffic can get dangerous. Yeah, I was in Scott's video the other day, Dave. Yeah, the barricade video. Yeah, I can do reviews. Someone asked why not review other items. I do. It's just it's not what I really want to do. Like I got this flashlight that I should be reviewing, and a company sent it to me, and I should be doing a review. I'm just having a hard time thinking of something fun to do. I don't want to just do blah 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 flashlight review. I want to incorporate it into a story. So what I was thinking about doing is along with the video about Chris Burmeister and promoting his GoFundMe because he lost his home. Well, he does neighborhood watch around here, so maybe I could, you know, at night I could go with him and do a neighborhood watch patrol with the flashlight. So I would incorporate the flashlight into the story and not just do a review. I'm not gonna do just straight reviews anymore. I think I'm just kind of I don't know. I'd rather just honestly I want to go camping. I just want to go camping and do camping videos. And then I could incorporate outdoor gear reviews into those camping videos. So that's, I think, the future of my channel. I just want to go camping, kind of a travel homestead channel. But variety channels are dying. You can't do variety channel anymore. Yeah, Waimanu Valley, that would be an awesome camping trip. I haven't camped in Waipio or Waimanu in years. We're talking like 4 years. So I want to definitely go camping down there. Yeah, I don't think you have to pay taxes. If your house got covered in lava, I think your property value is 0. Okay. Okay, so this you're talking about Waimea Canyon on Kauai. I was talking about Waimea Valley. Yeah, Hawaii. It gets confusing sometimes. Each island sometimes will share names of certain places, so you have to be careful. You have to have the right zip code, or your package could get sent to the wrong place. Yeah, I want to camp around the island. I'm gonna be doing that here shortly. I wanna start doing camping videos and just go camping. It's been too long. I might actually camp by the lava. Of course, I'll stay 50 yards away from it. Ha 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 ha. But yeah, there is going to be a lot of low interest loans from the government and FEMA for people to rebuild. So that's awesome. Um, I just don't know how many people are really going to take advantage of it. Because okay, I'll be honest with you. I'll give you some truth here. A lot of the people that lost their house either are retired and really can't rebuild, so they're just going to take their insurance company or their insurance money and whatever money they can get from this and just probably go live in a condo somewhere and not rebuild. Um, they'll probably just have some kind of easy life. Uh, and then there's another group of people that weren't retired and were kind of poor that lost everything. That's going to have to take what they can get. Usually didn't have insurance. They're just going to try to rebuild. But you really are going to have a hard time rebuilding on your lava flow lot. Uh, First of all, you know you had a beautiful jungle property, and now it's just rock. Uh, would you want to rebuild? So I talked to Heath a couple months ago, and he his property got there's a fissure 9 opened up on his property, but his property did not get covered in lava. His house just got burnt down from the heat and a fire. And he said he's not going to rebuild except for maybe like a shack. And so the the homeowners association probably should honestly be dissolved. The Leilani's homeowners association, at least the rules for the association should be scrapped, because you're not going to want to invest a lot of money here. You should never invest a lot of money in Puna, especially Lower Puna. I can't believe people were buying houses for $500,000 here. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's a kind of a scam. And hopefully people don't forget that all of a sudden the ground can open up and your $500,000 house could be eaten by lava. I saw so much new construction here. It was ridiculous. I talked to so many people that had just bought their house or just built their house or just started building their house, and now they've lost pretty much everything. The property value is just pretty much zero. All that money you put into this house. I would say about half the homes in Leilani are still livable. I don't know the exact count. I do know that the government says there is only 700 homes that were destroyed altogether in this lava disaster, and that number is very low. And I think the community has agreed that there's at least 1,000 homes that were destroyed. But the problem is not all those homes that were destroyed were permitted, so they're not counted. The government only counts permitted structures that were single or primary residence. So there's been a lot more homes that were destroyed. The numbers that the government have given are quite low, probably low by at least a few hundred at least. I think we estimated, just as a rough estimate, that there was around $200 million worth of damage. But don't quote me on that because I don't have my notes with me. But Dane from Hawaii Tracker has done a really good job of tracking how many homes were destroyed. His report possibly could have been on President Trump's desk at one time because the government was using his report because they're too lazy to do their own research. Honestly, I don't think building these big mainland style houses is worth it here in Puna ever. So don't build a house for, a couple $100,000. Build a house for under 100,000. You want it single walled construction, maybe screwed together so you can tear apart your house fairly quickly. You can just screw everything together and just unscrew it if the lava comes. Or portable tiny houses. But tiny houses are not that good. I'd rather have, maybe modular houses, that could be, 1,000 square feet. Like, yeah, but container living is kind of tough. I know people live in containers, and it's a good option, when you're just building a property or building a house. You can live out of your container, I guess, in the beginning. But yeah, I guess you could transfer containers into houses. I've seen that. That's pretty awesome. I'm really surprised there's very few mobile homes or RVs on the Big Island. I have honestly only seen one RV here on the Big Island, and that's well, I should say only one private RV. There are the clinics that have RVs that drive around. Yeah, a tiny house, Nanavali. But remember, your house could get covered in lava, so all the work that you did, and I assume you're not going to have insurance, all that work could be completely gone in a year or two, or even, a couple months after you finish building. And Nanavali was threatened, and Nanavali still is threatened. Or I should say, there's a good chance that Nanavali subdivision could get covered in lava in the next 5 years. There's a good chance that Pahoa could get covered in lava in the next 5 years. There's a good chance that Seaview Estates and the rest of Leilani Estates could get covered in lava. Yeah, lots of mold in the shipping containers. Problem with the bamboo houses is they're really expensive. I was looking at those houses and they're really expensive. Yeah, transporting RVs and mobile homes to Hawaii is expensive. That's why you don't see a whole lot of RVs here. No. Because of there's going to be some weird fluctuations in the beginning of the house market, but then we've got to go with a baseline. So in a year or in 6 months, when people are visiting Leilani looking to buy a property, are you going to be able to hide the lava activity? No, they're going to be looking at that going, well, when is this going to happen again? No, property values are gonna plummet. My friend just bought an acre in Nanavali for $4 grand. Guess how much they bought it for, or the original buyer bought it for 20 years ago. And if you guessed 20 grand, you're right. So a Nana Valley property has dropped $15,000 in 20 years. Okay, so for instance, my parents bought a property in Leilani Estates for 8 grand in 1980, right? Well, my neighbor just bought a very similar piece of property, almost exactly the same, for 19 grand. So you can see that the property value over 30, 40 years just does not go up. So you go from 8 grand to 19 grand in 40 years, that's not a good investment. You're losing money. You paid more in taxes than you made off of the property. So property values will be nowhere near what they were. Everyone here that bought a house just recently, their property value will be easily cut in half. Easily. Technically, my house, my property is worth 0. So, yeah. Yeah. And then what was the original price of the Nana Valley property 20 years ago? Look that up. You'll be shocked. The prices have dropped by $10,000. See, the thing here is you never get your money. You never make money off of property here. Okay, so for instance, you buy a property in Nana Valley for 4 grand. You build a house on it and you do all this landscaping and all this work and everything. You'll never get your money back. It just won't happen. The time that you put into it is, well, in my opinion, it depends on how much you value your time. See, here we go. Now the tourist helicopters have showed up. Yeah, in Kapoho, people did kill it. There's always going to be an exception, but this place is not known for making, you're not going to make money off of property. Not compared to, let's say, California, where literally there was zip codes that were going up 150 grand a year. So if you bought a house for 300 grand, in a year's time, it would be worth over almost $500,000. So in my channel, and you can watch some of my videos that I did a couple years ago about living in Hawaii, and I always would recommend that people don't necessarily move and buy property here. I'd always recommend that. And you know why I recommended that? Is because of lava. And that was 2 years ago. I have a video on that. It's living in Hawaii. That it was almost like a prediction. Yeah, I mean, California, your property value can go up 100 grand in a year, where in Hawaii you're gonna lose 10 grand. So my friend bought this property for 4 grand in Nana Valley, and I'm just like looking at her going, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? You know, it's just not smart. You were about to lose the property that you had in Nana Valley anyway. You were about to lose your house because of lava. Why would you build down here? So my best advice for people is don't build down here. Don't put any of your time or your money into it. Put the bare minimum, because literally the ground could open up and swallow everything that you have. Quite literally in minutes. Happy birthday, Jim. Aloha. What are you going to do for your birthday, Jim? What do you got planned? Okay, so everyone, was saying, and I've talked about this before, that property in Hawaii is really cheap. I don't think it's the case. Property is actually very expensive in Puna. For instance, you buy a 5th acre for $4,000. That's really expensive, because you could go on the mainland and you can get acres for hundreds of dollars, like literally. No, I'm not saying I regret my home in Puna. I was born and raised here. I know exactly what I'm getting into. I've been evacuated 3 times because of lava. Twice the house got covered in lava completely, and 100 feet of rock. So I know. I just, when I give advice to people, I'm going to say, don't build in Lower Puna. Don't move and build in Lower Puna. Yeah, see, when I talk about low property value, I'm not talking about the West Coast or the East Coast. I'm talking about the middle, the heartland, where you can buy, 100-acre ranch for $100,000, right? And it would have everything you need: a well, a creek, a barn, a nice house, But yeah, you're in the middle of nowhere. See, you got to understand. Look at buying, a large amount of property. You get it for really cheap on the mainland. And remember, it's a 5th acre for $4,000. A 5th acre is really small, and you better be praying a neighbor doesn't build next to you, because you think living in suburban California is crowded, or you have no privacy. So you're living in the jungle in Hawaii, but you have no privacy. It's kind of like these people that bulldoze their property. They come to Hawaii and then they just take their property pins and they bulldoze from property pin to property pin, and they just have a complete blank lot. And you're like, why did you even move to Hawaii? It's like there was a jungle there and you just bulldozed it, and now you're just gonna build a mainland house and build a fence and have grass. I always thought that was so. If you buy in Lower Puna and if you come here and build, don't just bulldoze your property. And if you do just completely bulldoze your property, try to bring it back to the natural state as quick as possible. And I know there could be reasons why you bulldoze a property. Maybe it's just filled with invasive plants, right? That don't even belong here. So you're like, I'm just going to bulldoze it. That totally makes sense. But I just see so many people just come to the jungle and just bulldoze the jungle completely. And that's the mainland attitude that no one likes around here. Aloha, Bob. Thank you. Good evening from Germany. Aloha, Andy. Yeah, I mean, if you have to bulldoze, you have to bulldoze. I understand that. Like, if there's a bunch of dead trees on the property that are going to be dangerous, yeah, you have to just go ahead bulldoze it. That's fine. It just bugs me when people bulldoze a perfectly good jungle just to build a house, and they completely bulldoze it. And they, you know, because if you were like, if I bought a big piece of property and I was gonna rebuild or build on it, I would bulldoze a driveway and then a building pad, and I'd try to leave the jungle as it is and just build little trails that would go through the jungle. And then if I wanted to do maybe like an orchard, I would pick plants that do well in the jungle, and so I don't have to clear a whole lot of area. Like cacao, for instance. Cacao is an under canopy tree, so it does great um, in a jungle. Yeah, it's a dice. It's a roll of the dice. I know, like, if you go to California and you buy a house, there could be wildfire or there could be earthquakes. Um, but here it's a little bit different in the sense that your property could get covered in 100 feet of rock, and it ain't coming back, like ever. Like with a wildfire, in a couple years the plants come back, and it can actually be good for an environment. Like a wildfire is sometimes needed to clear out all the dead brush and dead trees, so it revitalizes the area. Lava, it doesn't revitalize the area. It just completely burns everything and covers it in 100 feet of rock, or up to 100 feet or more in rock. Yes, please smash the like button. Awesome. Yeah, I lived along um, in Oceanside, California, along the I-5, Interstate 5, and when I moved, they were just starting to eminent domain houses and expand the 4-lane freeway into a 6-lane. Uh, there was actually even plans to do it 8-lane freeway on the I-5. So yeah, I understand why people would want to come out to Hawaii and be kind of in the middle of nowhere, no freeways. Just recently, in the past couple years, the speed limit went from 55 to 60 in one spot. So the whole island, up until a couple years ago, the fastest you could go was 55 miles an hour. And just recently on the Saddleback Road, or call it the Saddleback Road, it's actually a highway that goes past the military base that kind of connects Hilo and Kona. It went up to 60 miles an hour. So that's the fastest you can go on the Big Island legally, right? So I loved that. This whole island, you could only go 55 miles an hour up until a couple years ago. So that's island life. It's slow, slow living. Yeah, the train isn't. Yeah, train tracks don't do well here because of the lava. So that's why you don't see a lot of rail. There was rail for the um, the, the sugarcane industry, but people see, with the railroad company, the railroad company has to buy all this property to run the rail, and so that was really tough for the railroad companies to buy property from the locals. They didn't want to sell, and lava and earthquakes would constantly threaten the rail, the train system. So that kind of just failed. And you can see remnants of it here. Like my buddy's got a piece of the track from the sugarcane railroads that were going around. Okay, so I'm going to read some questions, answer some questions, and then I'm probably going to wrap it up here. Black oak is another tree that needs controlled fire. Yeah, to germinate. Yeah, there are some trees that even in plants that need wildfire to thrive. Okay, everybody, this has been an awesome chat. I'm going to wrap it up right here. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Dana. Rent cost, I'll answer that question. It really varies. Some rent is work trade, so you can go live in a cabin on a farm and just, trade 30 hours of work a week to live there. Some rent is, in between $300 to $600 for, let's say, a room to rent in somebody's house. So it really varies. And with this natural disaster, it's really hard to gauge the property prices and the rent prices because it's, that it's going to change. It's kind of in this weird situation right now because of the disaster. Okay, so I think that's about it. I think I answered most of the questions. Mahalo, guys. Much mahalo. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Look for that video about Chris Burmeister. Look his GoFundMe up. He lost his house, so check out his GoFundMe. I'm going to be making a documentary style video on him. Thank you, Sarah. Much mahalo. I will actually be giving Chris Burmeister some beef jerky that you sent for his kids. I know he's got kids and a bunch of young boys, and I know that they need their energy, and I'll send them some, or I'll give them some beef jerky. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up right here. Much mahalo. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been awesome talking to you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all. Much mahalo. And until next time, hui ho. And for those of you that don't know, a hui ho means goodbye in Hawaiian. Aloha means hello and goodbye. But anyway, to say goodbye the right way is a hui ho. Until next time, a hui ho.